Many of you will be aware that there is currently a huge nature finance gap.
We have to triple what's going into nature by 2030, getting to over 500 billion a year going into nature recovery.
PwC published a report finding that 55% of global GDP is either moderately or highly dependent on nature as its backing.
Agriculture is responsible for 90% of global deforestation. Earth has entered the sixth mass extinction.
Get the Will and Carbon Code into the emissions trading scheme and we will do way more, because then there's a liquid market, de-risking the investment, allowing us to trade, put into place contracted cash flows. You can create derivatives of it. You can de-risk the investment and bring the cost of capital down.
We need to view nature as infrastructure. It's a vital asset that supports a lot of the services that we need to mitigate climate.
We foresee a world in which the governance of ESG would include nature.
I think ecology, economy and finance are fields that need to be brought much closer together in intellectual sense for us to make better decisions.
Absolutely.
I think real responsibility for you as a sector to really get hold of the environmental sector and lead them through this process in a way that allows them to kind of really benefit from it.
Lots of greenfield development projects need to happen, there needs to be aggregation and then you get scale, but the aggregation and the development needs to happen first.
We're actually really good in the UK. We've got some fantastic research, evidence, the science is there, we know how to do it, we know how to monitor it. As we fly into this new biodiversity net gain space, we don't necessarily have some of the conservation infrastructure in place in order to deliver it, but in terms of when it does get delivered, it has the capacity to be delivered really well.
This is a very encouraging development of creating financial instruments that are palatable for institutional investors, because I think a lot of pension funds and institutional investors think it's a bit scary with owning nature-based assets directly. So I hope that this will bring the funding we need.
We need more visibility, more de-risking, etc., which is exactly what all the money is saying. And then part of the point is, what about the risk of not investing in nature?
So what we've come up with is a kind of concept called FAN, Foresight Alliance for Nature. We want to be multi-purpose to address all the sources of capital that can attack the nature market. So philanthropy, venture, equity, mezzanine, senior debt, grant funding. This body of people at FAN are going to be experts in understanding what capital needs.
This large organisation funded has the financial muscle to go to international financial markets, raise capital at low rates. It can then pass on those low rates to the nature projects that meet its criteria and issue bonds that genuine underlying investors, retail, sustainable, responsible, ethical funds can have in their portfolios.
But actually at the end of it, when you have a nature-based credit, the markets aren't there at the moment, so there'd be a big lobbying angle around making polluter pays, having compliance markets to create pricing liquidity for the credits.
I'm interested in just elaborating a bit more around the benefit to the communities where the biodiversity is at its most.
A structure like that can work. It requires massive collaboration with lots of other players.
I think it is a moment for something like this for nature, and that this, we need that kind of bold thinking and that level of ambition in order to make the change we need.